Hey, what is up everyone? Welcome into the channel. My name is Brent with Investing on the Go. Today we're going to be covering 4 sections today of living completely out of my portfolio over on Robinhood. This is going to be week 15 updates. Now, I did do one video earlier this week. Now, this is our second video of going over a couple additional buys. So we'll go ahead and go over what exactly took place from Tuesday on into Friday, and then some of the wins that we had this week. So with that said, if you guys are brand new here, definitely go down below, hit that subscribe, smash that thumbs up to follow along on the journey. And also a question to you guys: did you buy any individual stocks, ETFs, covered call ETFs? Do you have any plans going for yourself into April? Drop a comment down below. And also check out the pinned comment. Okay, join the Discord server if you'd like. Let's go ahead and get into the market update. Okay, popping over into TradingView. We were in a downtrend for a while. Back from February, essentially February 25th of 2026, we just fell off a cliff and had been downtrending. It wasn't until this week on Tuesday where we saw after hours we broke above, and this was all due to that ceasefire, which we did cover, right? I put out my video on Tuesday. Everyone kind of held their breath into the after hours of what exactly would take place on day 39. I mistyped that right here. Was that on day 39 between Iran, USA, Israel, there was a ceasefire announced. There was multiple plans going on from one side to the other side, and there was not much agreement there, where we had Israel continuing their bombing of Lebanon and saying that they were not going to be part of this deal at first. And throughout the week, there was some continuation of those updates. So there was confusion over what exactly was going to be, not happening versus happening. As we said, the Lebanon strikes had continued. They had 40 days so far of Iran completely being cut off from the internet. And then China was able to get Iran to come to the peace talks and get into the actual meeting set up here. So as we continued into Thursday, they agreed on a specific date that they were going to have some talks going on this weekend over in Pakistan, in Islamabad. And Trump came out with multiple notifications on social, Truth Social, saying, hey, Iran is being more reasonable than they were prior. And, Israel continued to strike Lebanon. And I guess there was another, not portion of Iran itself, but then some backed militia that was in Iraq that was kind of doing some diplomatic style attacks. I don't think anybody got injured there, but it just kind of continued into Friday. And our latest update there on Friday is that they are having some talks. I don't know what exactly is going on over the weekend. It's not really getting there. One side wants what the other side doesn't want to agree to it. So we'll see how it all plays out through the weekend. We still have a few days left until Monday and until the actual ceasefire ends. So, they have until April 22nd. So they still got a few days of coming to some sort of agreement. But, Iran, one of the first things that they came in there with and said, hey, we have good intentions, but we have zero trust, because last time that we came to the table to make some sort of negotiations, they were attacked twice in the middle of negotiations. So there's still some issues in there in terms of trust, and whether any deal that is set here in the terms right now will actually be confirmed or actually stood by into the future. But you can see here after hours and into Wednesday, the market has continued to move up. So here we have Tuesday taking place. After hours, everyone kind of held their breath. That ceasefire took place. The market gapped up a huge amount here. You can see nearly a 2.7% gap up from close to open. It did move to the downside a little bit here in the morning, and then just kind of continued trending. After hours, there was some more announcements that, hey, one side agreed to one plan. Both sides said that they were winning. That caused the market to move a little bit higher. Thursday just kind of continued trending a little bit. I know inflation numbers came out. I didn't read that. I know I was busy on Thursday, Friday. And then into Friday, just kind of sold off a tiny smidge, but still overall very positive out there in the market. And we still have a few days, up to 10 days right now for them to make some sort of agreement and hopefully stick to it in order to resolve everything that's kind of going on out there in the Middle East. Okay, so that is a lot of the market updates. I always like to take a look at these on a week by week basis, taking a look at what exactly each specific sector did. We saw for the very first time that oil here in the green right here, the energy sector, energy here is down 3.92% on the week. Every other sector was positive. We had the healthcare positive. We had the consumer staples in the orange here. Is that orange? I can't. It's kind of red. It's kind of red, but doesn't really. Oh, here it is. Okay, utilities up 1.32. We had communication services up 2.06. We had financial services up 2.58. Now we jump into that 4 to 5% range almost. We have in the green consumer discretionary. Consumer staples is down here. Consumer discretionary as at 4.44. In the pink, we have industrials up 4.84. And the biggest winner this week is up 4.93%, and that is the technology sector. We saw Apple, Google, Facebook, Tesla. No, not so much Tesla, and what's the other one? Tesla and Microsoft got beat down. Take a look at the 1 week performance on this thing. And yeah, Microsoft is one of my biggest individual holdings, and it got beat down this week while everything moved to the upside. Amazon up nearly 14%, Google up 7%, Meta up nearly 10%, Nvidia 6.5%, Broadcom up nearly 8, over 18%, Apple only 1.78%, Tesla's down 3.23%. Microsoft down 0.67. We did see some of these AI, right? Palantir, Oracle, Palo Alto down pretty big. Interesting area right in there. Technology stocks, right? Technology got kind of hammered. Software applications, technology. And then we saw already that the energy sector was red. So we have Exxon, Chevron, all down pretty heavy this week. So just pretty interesting. I do know, I would like to see how the next week plays out. Let me know down in the comment section below. Do you guys think that we will continue moving higher with our technologies companies? They've already been beat down so much here year to date. Okay, so let's pop back over into our week 15 buys or sells. So let's take a look at our buys. So we already kind of covered this one on Monday. We did $500.22 of TDAC. We went ahead and filled at $23.82. That was a pretty positive buy. We already kind of covered a little bit of that. We'll go ahead and check it out again here in a minute. Now, our new addition that we added, I already kind of mentioned, I would like to get up to 300 shares of BTCI and 300 shares of IAUI, which is the NEO's covered call gold fund. So I'm working to build up my BTCI position, and it is one of the most beat down positions right now in my portfolio. Buying Bitcoin at the moment, I think, is one of the better opportunities that we've seen, as it's almost down 40% from those highs that we had at late 2025. So we did go ahead and buy 7 shares of BTCI, and I actually bought it at one of the higher prices on the week. And we're going to continue to buy it. The reason I'm only buying 7 shares right now is I still have some time. We're about, obviously BTCI is still roughly 40% down off those highs, but the rest of the market is near those all-time highs. I think when we close on Friday, let's pop back over to SPY. Let's look at the year to date, and we look from these highs, which is right back here, to where we're trading at right now. We're only down 2.64% from highs, from all-time highs, down 2.64%. So I'm not trying to buy into the market that's having liquidity issues with private credit, that still has, the AI concerns, whether we're in an AI bubble. I know, tech companies have pulled back, but their PE ratios are still pretty unreasonable. Now, oil is pretty high. We haven't seen the repercussions of having the Strait closed now for 40 days, and there's locations overseas and within the United States started running low on oil, and we're still not sure how that'll affect inflation, GDP, and other ongoing future numbers, right? So as close as we are to the highs, I'm not wanting to buy a whole lot right now. I'll just continue my normal dollar cost averaging of anywhere from $250 to $500 on a weekly basis, and where I find I can buy value, such as buying into BTCI. So that is why I went ahead and did buy into BTCI. Now, jumping into our next one here, our dividend portfolio and income update. Taking a look at our overall portfolio, we can see here we increased our shares from 280 to 287. That's all documented down in here. BTCI, our old shares, we had 280 shares. We increased our shares by 7. We're now at 287. Our past dividend income went from $218 to $223.97. Now we can see here we're pulling from L9. So the estimated dividend amount is 0.78 at the moment. If you pop over to BTCI, we can see here the last payout estimate was 0.78. So that's kind of how I base the current income off of. Obviously, if Bitcoin does recover and it goes back to paying roughly $1 per contract, or the premium out there gets back up there, we can see we had a low of 0.76 and it is recovering, right? Bitcoin found its bottom. It's beginning to move up. That premium that we're collecting is beginning to move up. So our dividend income from this point on, as we accumulate shares here, should grow back up to, say, $1 or more, maybe potentially in the future, as Bitcoin does recover, right? We're not looking at it to recover right away. So it went from 218 to 223. That is a monthly difference of $5.46 just by investing a few $100. And then on the year, that increased our yearly income by $65.55. Now, we're not using all of the income that we're generating every month within this portfolio. I think, as we saw, we're having a monthly payout of around $2,184. I do have other means of income from my other YouTube channel, my affiliates, referrals, and I have my real estate business that I just collected some income from as well. So we're able to cover all of our monthly expenses using the dividend created from this portfolio and some of our other miscellaneous income. And then after all of our debts are paid down, we are then buying up and continuing to accumulate more shares, which is generating more income on a monthly basis and on a yearly basis. I would like, by the end of 2026, to maybe get this yearly income up to 54,000, 55,000, and that'll all go to, if we do have a bit of a pullback and I'm able to deposit a larger amount of capital, that we might reach those numbers by the end. I'll have to see where I could expect to see to sit by the end of 2026, just kind of based on dollar cost averaging, how much I'm dollar cost averaging into the market. How much I would have to invest to kind of hit those goals, and what's more reasonable. But overall, yeah, there's our buys of the week. We did buy TDAC and BTCI, and on this week alone, we increased our yearly income by $153.75. So that is a nice amount difference this week alone. Okay, now our last section here, we have just completed the second week of April. We have about 2.5 weeks of April remaining. So going into our wins and plans so far, I completed my taxes on the 8th. So that was a big win. I finally got all my numbers for my real estate business completed. And I had to reach out to my property manager because my numbers didn't match their numbers on my form that I received from them, my 1099 miscellaneous or whatever they sent me. And I had to go back through their numbers and compare theirs to mine and see where was the miscalculation and the difference. And one of the statements that I received was off by $1,000, and they said that they had paid me. And I went back through, yeah, they had paid me. It just wasn't in my statements that I recorded in my documents. So I went ahead and updated some of that, some of the additional expenses, and we did our taxes. So based off everything, even though I generated a substantial amount of dividends last year and we collected unemployment last year, We also collected rent income from my real estate business and other miscellaneous incomes. We took a lot of deductions. I did a side repair on one of my rentals. Along with the siding, I did all the paint, replaced the roof on what's it called, like the fascia board on the duplex. Kind of cleaned it up. There was some other fixes that we did, and we spent a good amount plus depreciation on the properties as well, and that all helped, bring down the taxes that we would have to pay, and we're actually receiving some capital back. So this is going to get kicked back into our Robinhood portfolio, along with the recent bonus that we received from Robinhood from transferring from Fidelity over to Robinhood. That was around like $6,400, I believe, plus we're getting $4,000 back in taxes. So we'll have roughly $10,000 of capital just within April alone to put into the market, or kind of hold off on the sidelines, continue to dollar cost average a little bit at a time through the market volatility. Now, another thing here, the second win this week is what I said last week. I'm in the process of taking advantage of another Robinhood transfer bonus. So I went ahead and I still had my old Roth 401k sitting on my old employer since back of last year. And it's been kind of sitting in that queue of my mind and needing to be done. So I went ahead, reached out to them, got the paperwork needed. I had to go down with me and my wife to the bank and get it notarized. Then I had to upload it to their website, talk to somebody on their end, and now it's actually been, my withdrawal has been requested, and they're going through the whole process. And when you go through Empower, not only do you have all this documentation you have to get signed and documented and notarized, send it in, you have to wait for your employer to approve it. Then you have to get another processing day. Then they'll begin to send your funds over to direct deposit. And right now, we're looking at potentially 5, 6, 9 days of time. But eventually what's going to happen is in the next week or so, my Roth 401k, my own contributions are going to be rolled over to my own Roth IRA. My work contributions are going to be rolled into an IRA over at Fidelity. Now, once they hit my Fidelity account, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at what's going on in the market. Is it worth buying into at that time? And then, whatever takes place. But I'll have roughly the current capital in there. I think is around 40,000 plus, split between these. It should be average around anywhere from like 80 to 90,000 per portfolio. And what I will do for that is right now over at Robinhood, you can take advantage of a 2% uncapped match on IRA transfers with gold. And we already signed up for Robinhood Gold. We got the Robinhood card. We have Robinhood Gold that I'm paying, $50 a year for tons of benefits. So we're going to go ahead and be rolling over my IRA and my Roth IRA from Fidelity to Robinhood, and should get about 2%, depending on the portfolio size at the time, Market volatility, it can take your portfolio size down a substantial amount. But for example, if I were to roll over roughly $80,000 per portfolio times 2, that would be roughly $160,000 plus 2%. The bonus from that rollover would be roughly $3,200. I'm not sure if that will be deposited into my IRA or Roth IRA, or if that bonus will just be directly deposited into my individual account. But in the future, we'll go ahead and cover that here in the video or in the channel. So definitely stick around, subscribe, and we will go into that in the future as it does happen. So that's the next big thing that we're continuing to do here going forward as we're progressing with some wins and other plans into April of 2026. So we're always doing something. I have a whole list of things that I'm always working on implementing and continue to work on, as there's always ways of generating income without having a 8 to 5. Okay, so that's going to be it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed the video, definitely go down below, hit that subscribe, smash that thumbs up. And if you guys have any questions for me, definitely drop them into the comment section below. Otherwise, for you guys, have you guys bought any new stocks this week? Are you guys kind of holding out? Continue to dollar cost average? Let me know down in the comment section below. And of course, check out the pinned comment down below. You guys can join into the Discord server. It's completely free. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.